speaking of Anand, the guru in it, you started each chapter of the docuseries with him saying, it's not a journey to feel better. You've come here to transcend. And that's wonderful because, again, I look at healing and it's not a journey to just feel better right away, because you won't. Most times when you heal, there's change and you'll actually feel worse. And people say, wait, that's not healing, but it is. And the journey isn't about just feeling better automatically. That may be the outcome, but the change and transcendence and what we say is transmutation is really what you're looking to do. You're trying to transmute yourself to something different that is no longer in a state of illness, that is self-healing. But what does that mean?
I'm glad you tell people that, because it's even telling people that lets them know, right? To like, oh, okay.
Right. Whereas most doctors will be like, okay, we'll make you feel better right now with this pill. Take it right now. You will feel better. And that if the goal is feeling better, that's really easy, actually. Pop a pill, do a drug, drink, whatever you want, and you could probably feel better very quickly. But will that truly transcend you? Will that make you feel better in the long run? No. And that's, every single one starts with that. And I took such, note of that, of course, of Anand saying that resonate. But I want to know what you feel about that and the transcending kind of stories you saw even through yourself in making the road to Dharma.
Yeah, it's so good. We put it there for a reason, because like to remind people, and it really starts to crescendo, I think, in episode 7, where that's actually where we pulled that clip from, episode 7, where he gives some people a real licking.
Oh yeah.
It's like, this is not your yoga spa thing. Oh, I didn't have enough protein today. And like, relax, guys, like chill out. That's not why you came for this tour guide of India. Like, whether or not you knew it or not, you came for this. You wanted to switch your life up. You wanted, not even your life, your perspective. That's what we keep coming back to. We have the power to shift our perspective. And until you get out of your norms and get the escape routes out of the way and have someone to be able to push you a little bit like you do as a healer, right? To have some help. So it's not all alone. Then these things don't happen. But in terms of transcendence, it's happening all the time, right? Like what you're transcending at any moment on the motorcycle, or like in episode 3, when Jen, she's going through a tough time hiking, right? This is really steep, for those listening, it's steep. And on that first hike up to Kedarnath, the Temple of Death, which sounds like Indiana Jones, right? So I love it. The Temple of Death. The first thing on the highest pass, years ago, 2010, the first mountain pass you go on to get into the Himalayas is called Rohtang Pass. And so, of course, I'm on the internet looking it up, and it means pile of dead bodies. And I'm like, oh no, why did I look this up? This is stupid.
What a literal translation.
It's horrible. So have to transcend this constant fear that comes up, this constant thinking, oh, my guru is trying to kill me. He's trying to sacrifice me so his prophecy doesn't come true. Oh my God, the mind comes up with these stories. So laughter is a really cool method of transcendence on the bike, or if you have a passenger, maybe singing mantras like we start. So you get out of the fear state and into a little more of a flow state. And I don't like to use that word too much because I think we're always in a flow state in some ways, but you're transcending all the time. And as a filmmaker, I was first of all, I was sick at the beginning. No one would know that, hard head cold and all that. And the first thing I said was like, I'm not going to tell anyone. And I'm just going to think of it as one little feeling, that's just something. I'm not going into poor me. I have too much on my plate. I'm filming and writing and I'm sick. Like, no way. That transcendence of laying down the law with oneself, I think, is key in saying, no, yes, I feel this, it's happening. I don't deny it, but I'm not going to let that define me or my experience. And I'm going to say mantras, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, to help lift above the conditions. It's not to make things go away. You don't say mantras like you're praying to the God to take it away from me, right? Heal me, make me feel better. No, you're praying for yourself to transcend above the circumstance, to be bigger than what's going on. So you still feel it. And I think in the new age world, people get this idea that transcending means we don't have feelings anymore. We're not in pain anymore. And that's not what transcendence is. It's transcending is our shifting our perspective of things and maybe connecting to an identity that's a bit bigger than our normal set of circumstances and have perspective on it. And thus it doesn't shatter us so much. And we can smile on it. And it's like, yeah, I'm also sick. Okay. So that kind of transcendence, I think, is happening all the time. And maybe later in the talk, we can talk about it, or now, in episode 9 and 10, when I had a little snafu myself.